Aliah University, Kolkata. Now I will hand over the microphone to the today's chairman, Pankaj Kumar. Please tell your program.
Good afternoon, Namaskar, respected audience, respected our IPHE Secretary Kolkata, and the respected speaker on the dais, Professor Pankaj Roy, Director School of Water Resources, Jadavpur University, Dr. IPHE, former Superintendent Municipal Engineering Directorate, Government of Bengal, and now presently he is very much associated with SPM Nivash. I have a regular interaction with him. Then Dr. G. I hope he is taking lunch. He is the assistant professor of from Aliah University. Then Dr. Chandrima Goswami, faculty member, Department of Environmental Studies, Rabindra Bharati University. Then Ms. Aliah Devi, Department of Environmental Science, University of Calcutta, but unfortunately she is absent today. And then Ms. Aliah University, Kolkata. Aliah University, Kolkata. And perhaps you all know that since yesterday evening we are discussing on water supply issue. Now in this session, it is another very important area of concern of our everyday life. That our solid waste management. And since our childhood, Chandrima Goswami is here. We are all know that every day we generate solid waste, and anyway we are managing because we are, every one of us in Bengal, in India, we all know that our own house will be very clean. But what will happen to all that matter? We are less interested for that. But now situation has changed. I will not take much time. Because all are respected speaker over here. But only thing, I have a humble submission to all my respected speaker and also the audience present over here, that the solid waste management rules has been changed recently in the month of January, and it has been officially effective from 1st April 2026. And if our respected speaker, if they provide us some guidelines so that in true sense from IPHE, we can forward our observation and our opinion to the concerned department, how to manage very important thing, that segregation level at an engineering technology, what we decide to do in the field, that is possible if we can do segregation as much as possible. So with this introduction, I will now first request, I will invite Dr. Professor Pankaj Kumar Roy. He is the Director, School of Water Resources, and next speaker would be Dr. IPHE, because Dr. IPHE has some other commitment. So I will request Professor Roy, that if you can kindly allow Dr. Ives to speak first so that he can attend that work. So I hope that you will consider and the permission of Professor Roy, I will invite Dr. Ives to speak first. Please go ahead. You can you can go to the okay, no issue. 10 minutes, 10 minutes. A long time. ওটা আমি অন্যকে দিয়ে শুনবো। মুঝে তোকে আমি 10 মিনিট বলে দিলাম, আমি জানি তো।
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today the topic of discussion is sustainable solid waste management and environment protection. Actually, at the outset, I must convey my thanks to the organizers for giving me the opportunity to have a discussion with you in this regard. And first of all, I want to have one question here. Why we are here? Why we are here to discuss these things? Previously, we were not aware of the environment. In the past, when the urbanization and industrialization occurred, that was occurred at their whims and without considering the effect on the environment. Just see due to the rapid urbanization and industrial what has happened, the environment is gradually degrading. So we are now concerned about the sustainability of the environment. What is the sustainability environment? It is that the ecological balance is not disturbed. It is a stable and will not deteriorate further, and will conserve resources for the well-being of the present and the future. But we consumed all the resources without thinking the alternative use of the other sources. So due to this rapid urbanization and industrialization, the environment has become more and more warmer due to the greenhouse gas emission, and the greenhouse gas is causing the environment warmer. Why it is called greenhouse gas? Green, always we want to mean the green means the everything good. Green energy, green production, green your electricity. But the concept came from the things that in the poor countries, when the cultivation is done, it is done under a transparent sheet where sun rays can enter, and sun rays are converted into heat energy, and that heat energy cannot escape out. So it remains warm. Here also the green energy is the same effect is there. When greenhouse gas emits in the environment, it doesn't allow heat to pass through it, and it becomes warmer. the if you think that in the year 1972 only, the United Nations considered that the environment is an issue. That's why they made a conference in the
solid waste management session
United Nations conference in the Stockholm, Sweden, and then all the nations decided to consider the environment as an issue. That after that, this committee was formed in India, and you know that in the Bhopal tragedy, the 10,000 people died. The government have had no way to control it. After that, in the year 1992, the Bosundara Summit was held in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. When actually after that, the India enacted the rule of solid waste management rule. But the rule was stated that the municipal solid waste management rule. The term was the municipal, but in the new rule, municipal word has been deleted. The rule is applicable to all your bulk waste generator, including government offices, airport, railways, and the gated community. What Dr. Gupta was telling, the gated community. There are some your parameters which will be considered as the bulk waste generator in the rule of the solid waste management 2026. And now come to the point solid waste. What is solid waste? Solid waste basically we consider that is your unwanted materials which we throw away after our use. And maybe your clothes, vegetable waste, vegetable waste, maybe glass, plastic, etc. But it's actually basically a source of renewable energy, or it's a source of renewable resources. Why I am telling this, I will explain when I go into different field. And remember that solid waste is a major source of one of the major sources of greenhouse gas emission. When solid waste decomposes, it produces actually the greenhouse gas. I will come to this point. Now solid waste is generated from municipalities. That means households, with agricultural waste, industrial or industries. See, the agricultural waste purely a biodegradable waste. Industry waste has basically the same character in the industry, but the municipal solid waste is a very heterogeneous substances which actually are the very problematic, and it is difficult to scientifically treated or extraction of value. Now you see that there is a typical composition of municipal solid waste where irrespective of village or city, more than 50% is biodegradable. I have emphasized this point because biodegradable waste can generate a huge amount of energy, and this biodegradable waste is handling also very easy. Now come to the data. We actually generate 62 million ton of waste annually, and this will increase about 162.5 million ton in 2035, because you know that we are due to the more e-commerce activities, change of habit, the per capita waste generation is increasing day by day. Actually, as part this statistics has been given by the World Bank, the future generation of per capita waste maybe 1.1 kg per day. Now it is about 300 to 700 gram per day. Now the agricultural waste, you see that the 141 million ton per year agricultural waste is generated in India, out of which 92 million ton is burnt in the field, causing huge amount of air pollution. I have given 10 minutes time, so I am going fast. This is basically the industrial waste. You see the coal-based waste, means burning of coal as fuel, is the highest. It is about 112 million ton. And the bagasse waste, you know, the sugarcane industry, the produces this type of waste. This bagasse waste is utilized for the manufacture of ethanol, ethyl alcohol, which is blended with the petrol. Now just I want to mention that basically we segregate the waste in two types. One is wet and dry. Wet means the waste which has huge amount of moisture content and it cannot sustain burning. And non-biodegradable waste is the waste which cannot degrade automatically in the nature. but its calorific value is high and moisture content is very high. Here one thing I must mention that the biodegradable is also can be used as a fuel if the moisture content of it can be removed. Now these are the various type of biodegradable waste as per the solid waste management rule. Now come to the point how the waste is polluting the environment. See that when biodegradable waste decomposes in the nature by the action of microorganisms, bacteria, protozoa, it produces two things. One is leachate, another is gas, biogas. Leachate is high toxic and it penetrates inside the ground, and also it's due to surface runoff, due to rain, it pollutes the groundwater and surface water as well. And the greenhouse gas, the gas which comes out from this your degradation, basically 60 to 68% methane and 40% carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide and other gases. And the plastic, the other part of this waste pollution is the plastic pollution. The plastic is causing huge amount of various type of pollution. I will come to this point later on. Moreover, the solid waste actually is a place of building of vector-borne elements, and it spreads the vector-borne diseases. Now, the greenhouse, these are the greenhouse gases: carbon dioxide, methane. You see, the methane is 28 times more potent than carbon dioxide. Methane, greenhouse gas is measured in terms of carbon dioxide. That means when 1 ton of methane is released in the atmosphere, that means 28 ton carbon dioxide has been added in the atmosphere. All these things are the greenhouse gases, and this next slide I will show how the greenhouse gas remains in the atmosphere. It cannot be removed. Actually, see that the carbon dioxide it is 30 to 100,000 years it can remain in the atmosphere, and methane can be in 12 years. So this type of gas, when releases, it remains in the atmosphere. It cannot be removed unless we take measures, just carbon sequestration or carbon capture. Now we are practicing in the industries, and for which we are also getting the carbon credits. Now see whenever we are going to biomining in my opinion is not an effective thing. Biomining means we are transferring the pollution from one place to various places. Because if we apply this first degree equation, you will find that the greenhouse gas emission is almost nil after 17 years. But our old dumps are waste dumps are mainly maybe of 35 years, 40 years. So whatever the degradation supposed to be happen, that's already happening. But when we establish this type of your waste, we are spreading we are polluting the environment again and again. It is spreading with more places. The waste which was buried under the earth, that is spread in the atmosphere. Now come to the plastic. Actually, it is estimated that 170 trillion plastic waste are actually floating in the ocean, and the plastic waste is causing.
Already 15 minutes is over.
Oh, right. Okay. Just actually, I prepared for a long half an hour. Sorry, actually, I was not told that the. See, the plastic. Just I am not going to the slide. Just I want to mention here that the plastic is causing huge amount of pollution. Not only the visible pollution, invisible pollution, MLP, micro and nanoplastic pollution is occurring spreading very high. Now this plastic rain is occurring. What is happening when the plastic is transported from one place to another place? It is degraded into micro, meso and nanoplastics, and that nanoplastic, which is about 1,000 part of millimeter, that actually spreads in the atmosphere, in the air, and when it rains, it comes down in the earth again, polluting the whole surface, the water and the groundwater. Moreover, the water which the plant is sucking from the earth, that is also containing the microplastics, and then those microplastics are actually ultimately coming to our food chain. And in this way, the nanoplastic pollution is now a very dangerous situation. If you see whenever any cosmetic is used, when it is washed, huge amount of nanoplastic is mixed with the water, and that water ultimately goes to the drain, to the ocean, to the canal, to the river, to the ocean. Ultimately, it evaporates. When it evaporates, it takes the nanoplastics also, and the plastic rain is occurring. See, I have some data here. How each time a plastic bottle is opened, about 553 MNPs are created. These figures are the experimental data taken from the different journals, and when the plastic packets are opened by using scissor or knives, or 250 micro and nanoplastic particles are created, and plastic rains. Plastic chopping board can release about 100 to 300 MNPs. So many times, so many water bottles we are opening. So many times we are chopping the vegetables in your chopping board. In each and every action, we are creating nanoplastic particles, which is spreading in the atmosphere, and that is coming when it is not seen in the naked eye. It can be seen in the high resolution things, and that when it rains, it comes down again in the earth, returns in the earth. So my time is over, so I will not go into details of things. See, that's just the problems are there, but the solutions are there. The thing is that it is a technology. It is solid waste management. We say that solid waste management is a combination of technology and management. It is not only the technology. See, if we divide the technology in three parts: biodegradable, combustible, and CD waste. There are technologies mentioned here. All the technologies can be implemented, and we can go zero waste if the segregation of waste can be done in proper way. There is no dearth of technology. This message has to go to everybody, those who are engineers or scientists, but those who are non-engineers should know that there is no dearth of technology for processing of any kind of waste. See, the latest is your plasma gasification technology, where we can put any type of waste without any segregation. And in the high temperature, about 16,000 degrees centigrade, all the waste material goes into elemental phase like hydrogen, oxygen, carbon. So that is, but this technology expensive, but it consumes more heat. But I should say that there is technology where each and every type of waste can be treated scientifically to avoid the greenhouse gas emission. Thank you very much. Actually, I was prepared for longer your session.
Thank you, Dr. Rai. I'm sorry, but you see we have long panel of speakers. So if you have any specific suggestion, you can put forward, because as you have told that everything can be mixed and everything, that solution we all know.
Yeah.
But considering the Indian context, considering the Indian economic condition, and also the latest notification from the Ministry of Environment and Forest, where they have clearly indicated instead of 2 types of segregation, now they have said there should be 4 types of segregation. So we have to consider that. Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much.
All questions?
Sir,
any question?
we'll take questions later on after the all presentations. It will be better. If we continue like this, but as Dr. Aichu, just a second, then I think he has some question. If you can address that, please.
Earlier session also, after explanation, there was a question and answer session. That's why I asked this question. Anyway, my question is, the students develop waste, they say about normally the household, schools, colleges, etc. Composting is one of the method of, besides sanitary landfill. Do you think that composting has a good commercial viability in the market is slower than manual production is considered?
Actually, composting is being exercised in many places. I have seen many states, they were doing this vermicomposting and window composting. Problem is that supply chain is not your frequently changed. When the supply chain is changed, the quality of the compost manure deteriorates. I have seen one plant in Bangalore. They were making compost manure through your window composting, 1,500 ton capacity ton, and that compost manure was taken by the horizontal fertilizer to mix with the chemical fertilizer. But after 1.5 years, when the government has changed, there the supply chain has been changed, and the compost quality has been deteriorated, and the horizontal corporation has stopped their taking this. But one thing I must tell you here, the biodegradation, your bio-methanization or anaerobic digestion, which is done as a Protection technology, galvanization of bioaggregations done. Name is given by the Government of India. That technology is very useful for your scientific treatment of the biodegradable waste. It is very easy, a simple technology. It can be established any place in the city. There is no foul order, and it generates electricity and also the manure. That technology is very useful. But what is thing, the compost is not sustainable. Many compost plant has been actually stopped functioning in West Bengal also. JICA has created 2 or 3 compost plant, but all are defunct right now.
Okay. Last question is that for environmental.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, excuse me. I think there are other speakers we can discuss. But only thing for kind information to our learned speaker, Dr. Raj, that JICA, which was under the support from the JICA, that common system, common solid waste management facility, it is still functioning. I request you, kindly take one day visit to with your student to your plant.
I heard that it is being oxygen remains stopped, but
No. Perhaps that is a wrong information, but that plant is functioning, and if you desire, the chief engineer KMDA is present over here. I will request you, please visit one day, and if you take the students from which are attending the course in SPP, even from outside of Bengal, they will be happy to see that in West Bengal things are happening. So thank you, Dr. Rai. So now, may I now request Professor Pankaj Roy, he is the Director of School of Water Resources, Jadavpur University. Dr. Roy, please. Thank you. Thank you.
হ্যাঁ স্যার বলুন, বলতে থাকুন।
এই দেখা হবে পরে, হ্যাঁ।
ফোল্ডারগুলো দেখাচ্ছে না যে? এটা কপি করে নিন, স্যার পেন ড্রাইভ লাগাবেন স্যারের পাশে, এটা কপি করুন।
হ্যাঁ,
কপি করুন।
বলে প্রবলেমটা এখানে।
কপি এটা না, এর শর্টকাট করছে কেন? এর শর্টকাট হবে না, শর্টকাট স্যার আপনি করে নিন, করে দিন। শর্টকাট দেখাচ্ছে না,
ওটা কি কপি করা আছে? এই তো এটা পেস্ট, এটা একটু লাগা।
কেমন চলছে আপনাদের মানে না না
ঠিক আছে
আমার স্টুডেন্টরা যাচ্ছে
হ্যাঁ
কমে গেছে না
Good afternoon. First of all, I would like to thank the organizer, IPHE India, who has organized the wonderful national conference entitled on Innovative Solution for Clean Water Supply and Smart Urban Waste Management with Circular Economy. All the dignitaries, the chairman, Dr. Tapas Gupta, and all other members, and my senior professors, scientists, researcher, and my dear students. First of all, I would like to thanks again IPHE who has invited me as a speaker. Thank you. So today, the topics what the IPHE has given to me, basically the solid waste management issues and actions. Since I have been attached with the water resource and hydraulic engineering in Jadavpur University as a civil engineering, so I am also working some of the key issues, key challenges like water supply, water quality issues, as well as solid and liquid waste management. So if you look into the solid waste management, particularly I am talking about that towards sustainable waste management and cleaner environment. So basically, there are number of cycles. Actually, if you look into the waste management flow, first waste generation is very important for us. Then some of the action that should be scientific action. Then because whatever the solid waste we are generating, first part is the segregation. So segregation followed by the collection, followed by the processing, followed by the some of the part recycling or composting, then scientific disposals. This is the cycle which is called the waste management flow. So if you look into the effective solid waste management system, focus on 3 R's principles. We call it the 3 R's principles, which reflecting basically reduce, recycle and reuse. So basically along with the some of the resource recovery and scientific waste management. So basically the sustainable, now because everywhere we are talking about the sustainable waste management. So sustainable waste management, basically actions are essential for achieving clean, circular and the climate resilient society. So this is how we are processing, how we are making the recycling, how we are making the composting, how we are making waste to energy and ultimately leading to the sustainability. So now we talk about the need for effective solid waste management. Why sustainable waste management is important? If you look into this, as we know, so increasing waste generation has become a major challenge for us. So due to the rapid urbanization and industrialization, this is the important parameter for us. Then the increased consumption and lifestyle changes, then limited land availability for disposal. This is some of the emerging area importance, and improper waste management results. What is the leading to the environmental degradation? soil and water contamination, public health problems, then greenhouse gas emission and climate impacts. So traditional approach, earlier it was the waste generation, collection, then dumping. Now it has transferred to transition sustainable approach, basically the waste generation, then the segregation, recovery, recycling, energy recovery, then minimal disposal I have mentioned earlier. So this is the modern solid waste management. So recycling, composting, energy, and obviously finally is the circular economy. That is very important, circular economy practices. Now if you look into the global scenario of solid waste management, country-wise, basically from USA to India, if you look these top 3 waste generating countries, number 1 is the USA, which is more than basically 258 actually basically the million tons per year they are generating. Then China, then India is also third, top 3 waste generation countries. So that is also another important point. If you look into the global waste treatment practice, so basically recycling, incineration, whatever, composting, then control landfilling, others, and some open dump. So out of this, the open dump is the maximum, more than 30%. So this is another how the global waste treatment practices. And this is basically worldwide municipal waste, solid waste generation, as we know, due to the rapid urbanization already been mentioned, population, and also the economic development. And also the major waste generating basically countries also been top 3 countries, USA, China, and India. And basically the key message, if you look into this, the slide, the key message is basically how the global focus is shifting from waste disposal and circular economy approach through 3 R's principles, that all resource, reuse and recovery, and obviously and sustainable treatment. So this is the circular, why when it is called circular economy instead of the linear economy, basically is the circular economy. We call it circular economy because recover, recycle, reuse, and sustainability, which is called the circular economy. And linear economy, it was basically take, make, and dispose. So that's why we have shifted to the circular economy. Then the present scenario, now we talk about the India. Now, since we are belong to India, so now we talk about we should talk about the Indian scenario. If you look into the map, so basically solid waste management. This is the left side map. Basically, it has how the processing total municipal solid waste in each state, percentage wise, it is showing here. So where you can see the maximum basically in West Bengal. Basically, this is the how the percentage of processing of the total municipal solid waste, followed by the other state. And this is the right side one map I am showing. This is one of the map how the solid waste generation in terms of TPD. Right side also, if you see the table, one graph, one data wise, how the state-wise municipal solid waste processing state. So high performing state is less than equals to the 80%. So Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Delhi, and if you look into the state requiring the improvement less than 40%, out of in that scale basically West Bengal is also there. Then other than the West Bengal, Bihar, Himachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, and other states. So now we talk about the solid waste management scenario, particularly when talking about the West Bengal. So West Bengal basically, as we know, West Bengal, some of the things you can see if you categorize the waste generated. So in 13,469 TPD, then the waste collected, then waste segregated and transported, then waste treated and processed, and finally disposed in secured landfilling. So this is one of the chart, West Bengal Solid Waste Management 2022. So this is the data collected from the different source. And obviously the implementation process, if you look into the implementation process, door-to-door collection is the 125. This is the ULB. then the source segregation implemented, then the segregated transportation. So this is one of the implementation process. And this is the right side, the another map we are showing the West Bengal at a glance. If you look into the West Bengal, see the 128 ULBs, then the some of the growing urban populations, then the rising waste, this basically is the generation. So this is the West Bengal scenario. Then now talk about the urban waste pressure in a growing metropolitan city. In metropolitan city, basically Kolkata metropolitan municipal area, 3,300 ppd municipal solid waste, and out of this, the biodegradable organic fraction is a 55%, then recyclable fraction is the 15%, then other inert and non-recyclable fraction is the 30%. So this is, it comes 100%. So basically this is the normal practice existing disposal systems. Some of the pictures and how the waste is being generated, how we are collecting the collector systems, then processing, then the final disposal. These are the some of the pictures. Now the existing solid waste management system in Kolkata, basically we are looking the household waste, primary collections, door-to-door collections, then the transportation, different mode of transportation, basically primary and other type of transportation, then processing and resource recovery, then finally disposal. So this is one of the things. Then obviously some transport station we are also in between. So how it has been transported from one station to another station, then how it has been processing of keeping all facilities, then how we are disposing. So next, comparison Kolkata existing system versus recommended. So we are recommending some of the solid waste management framework. So recommended solid waste management framework, basically the existing system we all know is a mixed waste generation. So definitely the segregation is a major part. Recovery efficiency, then keeping in this the source segregation, as we mentioned, chairman also been recent guidelines amendment. It has already been published. So that also kindly keep in our mind. Because without guideline also it is very difficult for us to manage all these things. So guideline we have to maintain. Then the minimum recycling and resource recovery. Then the treatment of biodegradable waste. Then segregated collection and transport. And obviously minimum landfill dependency. Because otherwise, because due to shortage of the land is very important for us. So that's why circular economy is very, very important for us. So major focus area, if you look into this, strengthening segregation at source. This is our main focus area. Then increasing decentralized process. This is another major important. How we have to improve the decentralized processing unit. Then enhancing the recycling infrastructure. And then obviously some kind of a solution, scientific, it should be scientific. And another important is the legacy waste, because this is another major threat for us, how to manage the legacy waste. So the major challenges in urban solid waste management, some of the barriers towards sustainable and circular waste management. So if you look into this, how waste segregation challenges, and then followed by the limited resource recovery. Then obviously organic waste management issues is another important for us. How biodegradable fraction in municipal waste, then obviously from the requirement of more decentralized composting units, and obviously bio-methanization. Actually that is also in facilities also is very important. The key message in this slide basically is the challenge is not only the waste collection but also the converting waste into recoverable resources. So this is another, if you look into the guideline for sustainable waste management. Sustainable waste management, basically the municipal solid waste management should follow an integrated solid waste management. So approach involving waste minimization, segregation, recovery, treatment and safe disposal. So out of this integrated solid waste management, one is the reduce, another is the segregate, Then third one is the collection, then the recovery, then the treatment, then the disposal. So this is the complete cycle. Some of the key functional elements of solid waste management. So that also been highlighted: the waste generation, source segregation, then collection, treatment and transportation, then the resource recovery, then the biological treatment, some kind of a biological treatment also like composting, vermicomposting, and obviously some biodegradable for organic waste, then scientific disposal. So this is our main target for making an effective solid waste management systems: 100% waste collection, no accumulation of waste, elimination of indiscriminate dumping. So this is the category-wise treatment and disposal, and obviously sustainable recycle systems. So some of the practical or functional stages of solid waste management. So waste, then basically some practical issues, since I mean attached some of the projects awarded from Jadavpur University. So that's why some of the key issues, project based, some of the key problems faced and how it has been handled and how it has been established. So these are the some of the waste segregation collection system, also some of the foundations for effective solid waste management. And basically this is the sustainable management biodegradable fraction. The composting is a sustainable waste streams: kitchen and food waste, vegetable and market waste, so garden waste. This is one of the common methods. And bio-methanization, basically anaerobic decomposition of organic waste for energy recovery. Some of these sustainable for bulk waste generator, then market and community facilities. So this is one of the things. Then how it is from organic waste to make it a minimum landfilling disposal through compost plus energy. And this is one kind of a scientific landfill and legacy waste management. So that is also the legacy waste is another major threat for us. Is how it is a challenging is a big challenge for us. So solid and soil, and particularly so for the legacy waste, soil and groundwater contamination is another important. So methane generation, that's why huge amount of methane generation, other problems, land occupation. So that is the major threats for the legacy waste challenges and legacy waste remediation. If you look, then biomining of old waste dumps, then recovery of recycled materials, safe disposal of rejects, basically the land reclamation and reuse. So this is the some of the key actions for the legacy waste remediation. So then guideline-based approach for sustainable solid waste management towards garbage-free cities and circular economy. If you look this, the waste municipal waste minimization and segregation to then scientific process, then safe disposal, then circular economy. So this is the cycle, how the strategy we should have implemented so far, making a good environment. So action plans, some of the action plans, source segregation and citizens participation. So this is how the building the foundation for efficient waste management. An action plan to the how the strengthening collection and transportation systems to make it efficient movement from waste generation point to processing facilities. An action plan 3, the how we make it a strengthening waste processing infrastructure.
Professor Roy.
Action plan, yes sir. Scientific landfill and legacy waste remediation. So action plan 5 is obviously last but not least the smart monitoring and technology integration. This is very important. So these are the future roadmap for making a good type of work. So for sustainable solid waste management, so short-term action. This is very important from 0 to 2 years, how we make it some kind of immediate actions, which is called the short-term actions, then the medium-term actions from 2 to 5 years, then obviously the long-term actions. So ultimately, which will be the greater than the 5 years. So by making some kind of action, some kind of measures, we can make it from short-term to long-term. So this is so short term for long term for zero waste cities. Ultimately, this is our future roadmap. So the expected outcome, this is the sustainable solid waste management, environmental benefits. This would be the overall benefit, the resource recovery benefits, then social benefits, then urban management benefits. So the solid waste management sustainable development goals, if you look into the SDGs, because that also the very important part for us, the how we can make it the SDGs. So that will be also integrated with the solid waste management, that also in SDGs 11 and SDG 12, that part, and also 13, 6, 11, 12 and 13. These are the 4, how we can implement, how we can incorporate it with the solid waste management. And ultimately, then the practical implementation, some of the projects carried out by the School of Water Engineering, and way forward for sustainable solid waste management. This is the future priorities towards the zero waste cities. And the conclusion, the future direction, the reduce landfill dependency, then convert waste into the valuable resource, then develop cleaner and the more resilient urban systems. Thank you. With this keyword, thank you.
Thank you, Professor Roy. Professor Roy, in his presentation, he has indicated a few options which is available for better solid waste management. I think before Professor Roy take his seat in the dais, one question you may ask if you desire from the floor. Yes, sir.
System that we know that snack collection, if you can introduce, so what is your opinion about that? Over many countries they are doing this snack collection. Daytime they are distributing on the road to make it. So in the night time, the fuel base has been from a certain period, it should be there. Remember, maybe from 9 to 11 p.m. people can send the green, and thereafter the whole night it will be considered. This was the policy. What is the opinion of that? How we should do it?
So you are talking about the regarding the collection. So the thing in this, we people should be aware. Most of the time when you walk during morning time, people are showing their own generation, generated solid waste dumping into the nearby the area. So the collection system, the time, if you make it, this is very important, because you see that time-wise, who will do all these things? Problem is the collection time, if you make multiple time or multiple time, so that is very difficult to run. That is very important for us. So because otherwise, in morning time, particularly individual houses from municipal area who are residing in the municipal area. So basically the municipality persons are coming, and ultimately the final waste, generated waste they are collecting, and ultimately they are transporting. So if you make it a multiple time, I don't think so multiple time for collections, it is not this viable. And so far the cost economic point of view also it is not this sustainable. So that's why ask, from my opinion, as a teacher or as a users, or you can say, because this much, first we should aware, people should aware individual houses, solid waste what we are generating, that should be segregated. If we make it, because source segregation, that's what I am telling you. Source means I am talking about the individual house segregation. Source means I am not talking about the source where we are throwing and ultimately where it is coming, and all waste is coming from different houses, and from there we are segregating. But I am talking about the segregation. Source means the source from the individual houses. Now this is another challenging for us, how we make the individual houses segregation. So that's why for different color, we know the different color concept coding. So we make it a solid waste, biodegradable and non-biodegradable. Accordingly, persons can come and make it from your individual houses, they can collect. And obviously for individual house, not only individual house, even flat culture also, big community, big house complex also. So like this, But one part is the biodegradable, another part is the non-biodegradable. Like this, people can take, and accordingly, that part, if it becomes organic part, organic biodegradable part can go to the organic for organic fraction, and non-biodegradable part, if it is a recyclable, to some extent that part also get. So like this, it will be a more suitable, from my opinion. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Roy. Now I will invite Dr. G. Venkateshan, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, Anna University, for his presentation. Please.
Good afternoon and all. So it is my privilege to thank the respected chairman and all IPHE members and non-IPHE member audience and as well as invited speaker. So I am inviting for this conference for lecture in solid waste management. So my name is Venkateshan. I start with say for disposal of solid waste. So all are talking about the how to collection other thing. I just change the how the dispose the solid waste taken that. So yesterday we are celebrating World Environment Day. All are aware that. So this year I am inspired by nature for climate for new future. So smart cities mission. Yesterday also our chief guests are telling about a lot of missions in the government of India. One of mission is smart cities in India. So there are 2025 the mission will be concluded that. So last winning cities of 2025 Bhatia, Bhubaneswar and all states should be there covering that. So this is a fundamental component of smart city components. So finally we give for solid waste management is one of the component is generation, collection, transport and safe disposal of landfills. So I have taken from landfill liner only. So it is a common things will be already discussed in the previous experts, landfill, so gas recycling, sustainability, biological processing, a lot of technology nowadays is viable. So resource recovery also viable. So waste hierarchy I will follow that. So I take one typical case study because of most of here the M.Tech and the PhD scholars is there. So I just to talk about my sharing my experience in the landfill liner. So I taken that landfill liner in two aspects. One is geotechnical aspects, next one for the environmental aspects. So studied that for in my PhD thesis. So this is a typical landfill site. All are aware that. So is top portion is covered. Is always in landfill liner. So in early days, the clay liner is normally used for the 4 feet height liner clay soil dumped. Nowadays, modern technology is available. The GCL, geosynthetic clay liner, also nowadays viable. Now the closed bioreactors also in Western countries and other European countries they have adopted. In India, we are trying for best. So we have methods of taken from the geotechnical experts for soil. So most of think about that micro-silica or silica film are used for the concrete. So I think about why not use for the soil. So that's why changing meant. So a lot of soil stabilization, other techniques nowadays is available. So in landfill liner, we are choosing the soil. So this is on our site. It's in Tripoli. So based on the soil attacks available in agriculture department, we are choosing the nearby area of NIT Trichy. I am doing PhD at that time. We're taking from the lake to take for the sand, clay sand, just to identify that. So GCL is also it's a commercial one, only for 2 centimeter thick. So it's a cross section of GCL. So some basic methods were adopted for geotechnical aspects. So at those days it's not for directly for permeability test. We are conducting on the consolidation test and just interpret the permeability values. So the various ratios also is taken. So next for an normal part, there are 2 studies. One is for batch studies, next one for column studies. Batch studies is maybe optimizing of 3 techniques. In column studies, we take whatever the field in the real field in the solid waste yard. They are taken from the lab and make it for the lab scale models. So once we calculate from lab, so we taken from the groundwater sample nearby the actual landfill site. We taken the groundwater sample from various locations. So this is we are taken from 3 locations for 2 years. For monsoon season and non-monsoon season, he has taken that. So it is in a Trichovli city. So it's a landfill dumping yard nearby area we are taking from sample. So in those days, it's outskirts of the landfill. Now it's heart of city is also converted in the corporation. So that's seen in all cities, in Chennai or Delhi or wherever, Kolkata. Those days is outskirts. Now it's all will come to the within corporations are. So results are interpreted from using the micro-silica. So unconfined tests and other parameters we have discussed. So it is in consultation apparatus. We did it. So in various normally for consultation I have taken from single load. So I have a change of the incremental load test. I have taken that. So his results. So I prepared a lot of PPT, but due to time concern, I am not discussing much. This is a batch studies results. There are 3 optimization techniques available. One for the time optimization, next one for pH and concentration. In various composites, we have taken that. Afterwards, we are finding that what are results in the Langmuir and principal isotherm we have fitted. So these results obtained from the various parameters, chemical parameters. So it is a column setup. So what will be that one GCL. So we are tried with 2 different manner. One is for actual clay soil and add with GCL. So this column experimental setup. We study for solute breakthrough curves, diffusion process and as well as addition diffusion process we have carried out. So it is various analysis we carried that. Based upon the layer, we find that diffusion coefficients. So we have compared with the actual and as well as the previous literatures we have collected for iteration factor and other parameters. So morphology test also we have conducted. So these various results shown that. So a lot of PPT will there. So XRD and SIM. We're getting from that which compound will be more or which compound will be less. We are taking that. So this for groundwater quality is another way of representation for the dumping yard. We are taking from nearby areas and taking L1, L2, L3. So it is an actual yard. So in a picture we'll see in a different, but in actual concern will be like that. So most of in solid waste yard like that only. It's not for an engineered landfill, just yard dumper and level that. So that's way that. So it's a bed for the collection of leachates. So aerobic and anaerobic digestions. So its other methods will be available bioreactor. So in the Western countries, for all, we are finding the chemical quality of the groundwater results. So most of as per we are compared with the standards, most of chemical parameters exist even for irrigation purpose also. Not drinking, even the nearby groundwater, all are heavily contaminated. So you see for that values is very huge. For so other coefficient correlation find that. So once we are doing all in experimental result, so we compare with the actual models for an available viable for pollute model. I choose on that. Based on that, what are the input getting from that experimental just put for that and finding the values. So we have concluded that we are adding the micro-silica. Somewhat micro-silica is a porous material, somewhat leachate permeability, somewhat increasing the landfill, but what extent supposed to be used. So there are different type of liner system we are studying. So apart from the in our institute doing for consultancy and research of a lot of air quality modeling and other dam site tests also carried out. So just I show that in power plant is divisions and other things. So these various activities also done in our institute as well as our university for consultant in the research project. So we are visited in a steel plant. So EAS study, environmental impact studies. So how will be that gathering, how mitigation methods will be there. So green bed development, other thing. So you see that. So I prepared that this slide. before Corona. But now the Corona will be there. Afterwards, we are only one world. We want like this, or maybe changing the environment. So I think that within the time stipulated, I completed that. Any question? Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Venkatesan. And your study, whatever experimental
Yes.
experiment you have done, I think in our country it may help for designing a landfill, because as per the latest direction from the ministry, that even for at least 10% waste, there is no other option but to go for landfill. For landfill designing, this kind of experimental study and whatever experience you have gathered, it will help us for our country. Thank you very much
Thank you,
for
sir.
your presentation. And if you have any question, you may ask one or two questions for advice in future in our state also. If we need, we can take the help of Anna University. So I hope, Dr. Venkatesan, whenever
So-
we will request you, you
Thank you,
kindly
sir.
extend your help to us.
So I again thank to IPHE. I am along way. I have 3 flight changing coming here. So I am inside of Tamil Nadu, Tiruchirappalli. Not any connecting flight. So I will be come across. Thank you for IPHE given the opportunity come here and present that expert lecture. Thank you, Nanda.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Now may I request Dr. Chandrima Goswami, the faculty member of Department of Environmental Studies, Rabindra Bharati University, to deliver his presentation. One of my boss, Dr. Ranganathan, was there, no? He was my boss. Dr. Goswami, please.
A very good afternoon to you all. Myself, Dr. Chandrima Goswami from Rabindra Bharati University. I must thank the organizing committee, especially Professor Arno Majumdar sir as well, and all the
Next,
dignitaries
After that.
for the opportunity to speak over here. Even my sir, the chairperson here, Dr. Gupta is here, learned a lot from him as well. Privileged to be here today. So I won't take much time. It's a very short presentation. So I will be focusing on the solid waste management through education and outreach. How we can involve ourselves as well, not only looking towards the government and the policies and cursing them and blaming them. We should take some responsibilities on our parts as well, isn't it? As we are the prime consumers, and the consumer builds a society, a consumer builds a market. So the more we consume, the more the different things are getting developed and manufactured, the use and throw type of materials and things that is deliberately being thrown away, as Pankaj Roy sir just mentioned, that indiscriminate dumping should be stopped. How can we do that? Only thing we should concentrate on our part is alertness and mindfulness, isn't it? So to start with, we all know all these things, that solid waste management area is a critical environmental as well as public health concern area. It is owing to the population growth, to the fast urbanization culture. We are all shifting to the urban areas for the different amenities again, and the consumption patterns we try to follow, that we need anything and everything for our comfort. But the management is being a multi-dimensional challenge as well. We cannot restrict ourselves to the urbanization only and the consumption. as well. We all are here. Infrastructure and operations, there is lack of facilities, inadequate trained personnel, improper planning. To come to the financial constraint in awareness, that is our part. Geopolitical challenges like political instability and conflict and lack of willingness. So through education and outreach to the residents or to the common people on waste management programs can definitely be a critical driver for improvement of the management system. How? Very easy. Actually, it seems easy, but better to be done than said. By achieving source segregation, that is again our part, we should concentrate on segregation at the source. As previous speakers also mentioned, source means our home. Source means the initial stage from where it is getting generated. By reducing the waste burning, at a lot of places the waste burning goes on. We are familiar with the Nirmal Bandhu, who collect the wastes from our homes, isn't it? Even I'm sorry to say, they are even found to burn the wastes on the streets. And if we do request, I have this experience, they get angry on that why are you telling that? So the training has to be up to a greater extent. And by building community ownership, by which we mean the community participation, to consider that the streets and the areas and the regions are getting polluted means it is a disaster for all of us. So by achieving source segregation means waste can be separated at the point of generation, making the system more efficient both economically and environmentally. It will reduce the upstream sorting cost, isn't it? So it will also encourage composting facilities, energy recovery, and even it will reduce occupational health risk for many who are very much entitled to get exposed to different hazardous diseases as well. But why segregation is vital, I would again mention, this is a very less amount of waste, picture from Damdam I collected myself. So if the biodegradables are being segregated from the dry waste and only the non-recyclable ones reach the landfill area, it becomes so very manageable. But I understand it is very easily it could be saved, but could be done. Doing is something difficult. Reduction in waste burning under solid waste management is achieved through regulatory prohibitions. This is again to be done as per prohibitions mentioned in the management rules. There should be prohibition of littering here and there, no burning and burning of waste. Penalty should be there for burning of waste and bulk waste disposal at points, at even the lands that are there in the landfill sites. Source segregation should be there as far as biodegradables and non-degradables are concerned, and decentralized processing is a must, as we all know. By building community ownership and by increasing participation, encouraging the source segregation among people, enabling them for local recycling or composting. Many of the people are already doing on their part, for those who are motivated enough, right from the COVID times as well, people were having enough time at their homes, and the composting people were practicing. So these should be more encouraged. Many residential areas also do practice this. These are being inculcated, and many NGOs are also teaching them, making them to learn the procedures. This is possible. So this kind of social empowerment forms the basis for social sustainability, which in turn will promote the economic and environmental as well. And where lies the barrier? The current barriers the education addresses is lack of citizens' awareness. There is behavioral inertia. We will not change. That is actually happens by habit, no? And too much of practice, it's a very prolonged practice that we will do like this only, isn't it? So technical knowledge gaps are there, and trust building is also essential. For that, regular staff support presence is also essential. they will build community confidence. Someone should be there who should look after it. That is, the Nirmal Sathi, I guess, from who are there to supervise the Nirmal Bandhu. But how much does happen? How much does actually happen? That is a question. So merits of community authority partnership, it will improve the waste segregation and there will be decreased municipal burden. It is not the time to create burden for others or curse others. It is the time for all of us to take the responsibility. That is as per my view. And cost effectiveness, municipal collection and disposal costs will be much lessened when we care, when we segregate at the source. Local ownership and accountability should be taken care. This will deter illegal dumping and littering. Hygiene and sanitary conditions will be taken care and the public health will be better. And policy legitimacy, when designing the waste management strategies, engaging the residents also is essential to ensure that the policies have public support as well. How much people can come forward and act. Always there are some limitations as well, like the sustainability constraints. The community enthusiasm lacks somewhere and voluntary participation often may wane after initial project funding or awareness campaigns conclude. So there should be no conclusion. We should go forward with the act. And reliance on state capacity, community efforts can only succeed at a small scale, and for a greater measure, for it to happen, there should be some incentive structures. Lack of clear communication is there, so proper communication channels and coordination is needed. Media is needed. Behavioral barriers are to be broken, and widespread belief that waste management is purely a government's responsibility should be broken. Operational approaches involve establishing fixed rate service payments, providing financial incentives, subsidies, and involving private waste collection agencies as well. Many number of agencies are these days available, doing work very wonderfully. We can communicate. And the best practices for fostering the engagement is definitely we should go for composting. Before that, there should be source separation campaigns, community-based initiatives, and incentivization again. So to conclude, there should be education, outreach, and reach out to the masses, that is community participation as much as possible as a crucial component for the system to flourish. It will bridge the gap between overwhelmed municipal authorities and the grassroots waste generators, though balancing community engagement. True. And there should be also education on behalf of the different 17 sustainable development goals. The goal 13, climate action, is very much related to this, as the methane gas generation is very vital from the degradable wastes. More than about 25 to 26% of methane generation from the biodegradables happens. So some of the references, and thank you so much for your patient hearing.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Goswami. Dr. Goswami, in her speech, she has indicated in several times in a different form what is the role of we as an individual for management of the solid waste. And thank you, it is the right time, and for your kind information, those who are present in this auditorium, that on 1st of June, as per the new regulation of Solid Waste Management Rules 2026, Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change and Central Pollution Control Board, they have uploaded the portal. And in the portal, it is the responsibility of the bulk waste generator, responsibility of the community as a whole, responsibility of the institutions. But how do you define a bulk waste generator? They have given the definition that first criteria, if the building, the community is, the built up area is 20,000 square meter or more. So that list, it will be available from the State Pollution Control Board, because more than 20,000 square meter housing project, they needs environmental clearance from the Pollution Control Board. Or if the water consumption is 40,000 liters per day in a housing society, or the generation of solid waste is 100 kg per day, I think I have estimated, if we consider what Professor Roy and Dr. Aich has indicated, and on an average, if we consider in Calcutta, in metropolitan area, 350 to 400 gram per capita per day, and if we consider 4% in a flat, in a housing society, I think more than 60, 70 flats, that means more than 300 people, we can cross 100 kg per day. The main thing, the responsibility given to the bulk waste generator, that means our housing society. Either secretary or president, they will have to register themselves with their telephone numbers, and what madam has indicated regarding the penalty. Now, in the rule itself, they have government of India indicated. Now, the bulk waste generator, either you will have to manage your own biodegradable waste in your own, either going for composting or bio-methanization, because in Maharashtra, in other states, in big housing society, either they have gone for composting or they have set up their bio-methanization plant. But if it is not there, then urban local body, they will take it. They will take your material. But whatever costs urban development agency, either they on their own by or by engaging some agency, they will have to bear the cost. Government has to bear the cost. Then that cost will be borne by this bulk waste generator. And in turn, like plastic waste management, like electronic waste management, this extended producer responsibility has already functioning in very well, as indicated by Professor Roy as circular economy. Here also, the housing society will have to obtain that certificate from the urban local body by paying the cost. So it is already uploaded by the ministry from 1st June. So I will request, it is my humble request to all of you, kindly see that everything is there. If any doubt, you can ask the urban local body. For our state, it is the State Urban Development Agency or Pollution Control Board. So there is no other alternative before us. We will have to join in this forum also. So thank you, Dr. Goswami. In the right time, you have given us some indication. So if you have one or two questions, we may ask, or if you have any suggestion, you please raise your hands. Yes, sir, please. Madam, next is yours, sir.
Good afternoon. I am Deepak Kumar Roy. I have no questions on your presentation. I intend to share my experience about segregation and source. Maybe I was 6 years back, and then Municipal, we have provided with two baskets, one green, one blue. One for biodegradable and one. We used to practice that. We are segregating at home, both of them separately. Surprisingly, we took both the baskets, dumped in his big basket, and then mixed everything. So who will teach them? First, we have to teach them. We tried to do this 2-3 times. I personally tried to educate that fellow, but the result is what he told me, ultimately, it is none of your business. Let municipality look after this, forget it. Well, now I am also mixing everything at home and dumping it in his basket. And funny thing is, 2 days back, the chairperson of Jadavpur University, she has suicided because she could not take any responsibility. Thank you very much. This is my experience I am sharing.
Yes, you are very correct. We'll have to change the situation. That is the submission I can make to all of you. So now let me invite our young colleague, Miss Maria Ahmed from Aliah University, Kolkata, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Maria Ahmed. I am a student of M.Tech in the Department of Civil Engineering at Aliah University. So, now I am presenting my research titled A Comparative Analysis on Existing Municipal Solid Waste Management Practices for Metropolitan Cities, Kolkata, Delhi and Bangalore, Futuristic Period 2051. Before I begin my presentation, firstly, I would like to thank my sincere gratitude to Dr. Indoreen Mukherjee sir for his continuous support and for through this journey. So, rapid urbanization, industrialization, and population growth are increasing municipal solid waste generation through over the world. Improper municipal solid waste management are creating serious environmental and public health problems such as air pollution, health disease, and many more. In India, metropolitan cities are facing major challenges due to increasing population and changing their lifestyle. In this study, Kolkata, Delhi and Bangalore were selected because these are the amongst the cities fastest growing metropolitan cities in India with high MSW generation. Even now, existing waste management systems still depend heavily on open dumping and inefficient disposal methods. Therefore, sustainable strategies such as waste generation, recycling, composting, and waste-to-energy technologies are very becoming essential. So, these studies mainly provide the comparative analysis of existing municipal solid waste management practices and predicts the future waste generation up to the year 2051. The main objectives of this research is to comparative study of MSW management practices in Kolkata, Delhi and Bangalore to forecast for the year 2051 using standard population forecasting method, that is arithmetic, geometric and the incremental method, and to understanding and recommending future MSW management options. And for the last one is the most suitable and the sustainable MSW management approaches for the year 2051. Now come to the study area overview. This study mainly focuses on the three metropolitan cities, that is Kolkata, Delhi and Bangalore. Kolkata in West Bengal, Delhi in National Capital Territory and Bangalore in Karnataka. In Kolkata, 4,500 waste tons per day generates. In Delhi, 11,144 tons per day generate. And for Bangalore, it is 5,000 to 6,000 tons per day. In these slides, we can see that Delhi has the most highest population and also the waste generation. So, population forecasting methodology. Population forecasting is very important because the future waste generation is directly linked up with population forecasting. So, in this study, population data from 1981 to 2001 were used for forecasting. Three forecasting methods were applied, that is arithmetic increase method, geometric increase method, and incremental increase method. The predicted population of the year 2011 values were compared with actual census data. The method which is giving the closest result that was selected for prediction up to the year 2051. These slides is for the predicted population for 2051. In Kolkata, the incremental method gave the closest result to the actual data. Okay, and for Delhi, arithmetic method was adopted, and for Bangalore, geometric method gave the closest result. So the predicted population of the year 2015 for the Kolkata, that is 5.1 crore, for Delhi 3.3 crore, and for Bangalore 3 crore. MSW generation for the present and the future situation. This graph compares the waste generation of the year 2011 and the year 2051. And for my study, the waste generation may increases 4,500 to 49,350, and for Delhi, it may increases 11,144 to 20,743, and for Bangalore 6,000 to 16,416. So in this slide, we can see that Kolkata will be increasing in the year 2051 drastically. So the existing municipal solid waste management practices may not be sufficient for the year 2051. Now come to the existing MSW practices for Kolkata. For Kolkata, door-to-door collection, waste collection is carried out across 144 wards, and here colored bins are used for biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste segregation. And here Dhaba landfill is the primary disposal site, and it is handling more than 4,500 tons per day of waste. Waste to energy and RDF plants are currently not existing. So this is the main problem. In Kolkata, there are many challenges like open dumping, underutilized composting, and absence of WD and RDF plants, poor inefficiency of route, poor leachate management, and the legacy waste. Now come to the MSW practices for Delhi. In Delhi, door-to-door waste collection is carried out across 250 wards. Delhi uses a multi-option transportation network with transfer station. Source segregation is officially mandated under SWM rules 2016. And in Delhi, major landfill sites include Gazipur, Varsha, and Otla have exceeded their designated capacity. And for the results, overloaded landfills causes air pollution, groundwater contamination, and many more. For Bangalore, relatively better. In Bangalore, door-to-door waste collection covers nearly 90% households, and here the main problem is inefficiencies in routing and the transfer system. And for rapid urbanization and IT sector growth are increasing, and this is for waste generation increasing. So open dumping and inadequate disposal infrastructure remain major concern. And proposed strategies for 2051, source segregation at household level, route optimization, it should be improving, and must establish WDE and RDA plans, and replacing open dumping with scientifically landfill. The composting improvement and biomiming should be adopted, and the more important things is public awareness and citizen participation. This is the city-specific recommendation for Kolkata, Delhi, and Bangalore. I'm just concluding my presentation. In concluding, Kolkata, Delhi, and Bangalore are increasing MSW generation, and the major common challenges is source segregation, overburdened landfill sites, and absence of proper WTE, RDA facilities and poor leachate management. For these, we have to integrate MSW management and sustainable waste management practices such as source segregation, root optimization, composting, and biomining. WTE, RDA plants are essential for future waste management. For future, we can use IoT-based wind sensors and AI technologies, waste to energy scale up, establish WTE plants, and circular economical approaches, informal sector waste workers, and scientific leachate treatment and monitoring at all disposal sites to protect urban groundwater and data-driven policies. Here are the few references that I used for this presentation and also my studies. And thank you for your valuable time.
Thank you, Ms. Maria. I really appreciate that whatever projects you have considered for your presentation, and I hope that you will continue with this study.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. And okay, any question, any suggestion for her?
General question.
And yes,
I want to ask this question to Mr. Roy. Because of time, also
you can come. And before you ask the question, but then we can open for the discussion.
It is not only question, it is an observation also.
So we can open it for a discussion.
Yes, open discussion is that solid waste management, in my view, in rapid urbanization system, without taking into consideration of mass generation from the construction and demolition waste, which is a major problem in the society and in the environment. I think exploring that for all the other aspects or aspects immediately. So, may I ask you this question as a chairman? Any idea about any kind of treatment plant for treatment of the construction and demolition waste and recycling also to usable materials?
Yes, sir. Very good issue you have raised. In Calcutta, for waste management, already Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change, they have come out with a new notification called Construction and Demolition Waste Management. And in Calcutta, for Kolkata, initially we thought it for Kolkata Municipal Corporation, but then it has been extended to other urban local body nearby of Kolkata metropolitan area. There is one plant set up by Kolkata Municipal Corporation at Newtown for 500 ton TPD capacity. And whenever we will go for any plan sanction for any projects, any building projects to Calcutta Municipal Corporation, nowadays you kindly see that we have to deposit some fees to management of this construction and demolition waste. Though it has been constructed about 1 year back, in the meantime, I have personally visited that plan, and for your kind information, with the help of other ULB, now I have learned that around 300 TPD material they are getting and they are processing it, and now few municipalities, whatever finished product they are manufacturing, by processing this CND waste, that is being utilized by urban local body, paver blocks and other, and the time will come that there will be a major problem of the sand. And I think whatever processed sand they are getting, they are manufacturing, that will be useful. And I have seen personally in Newtown area, even the best material of the road construction, it has been being used. So one 500 ton TPD plant is already functioning, and urban development department and municipal affairs department, they will be constructing another 3-4 plants. with the support from the government of India, that is in the pipeline.
ISI also has standardized this.
Now this has been notified. There is a BIS standard also. It is possible. So yes, sir. Any question?
One
Mic
thing
there.
I would like to add here,
Please, sir.
even though it is constructed by KMC, any municipality within KM area
They can.
send their CND waste to this plant. The plant capacity is 550 per se. They are not getting the
Full strength.
sufficient quantity of CND waste in their plant. So they are willing to take up the CND waste from any municipality. So they will take it up. Second thing, I have some suggestion in Maria's presentation. Our projection in the year 2051 for Kolkata is 49,315 TPD. It's quite high, unrealistic. Please check it. It will not be like that. Because you see in New Delhi, it is 20,743. At present, New Delhi is generating around 11,000. So that is going to 20,000, whereas Kolkata is generating only for 4,500. That cannot be 49,000. Kolkata is almost saturated now. 10 times population growth is impossible. Please check it. Second thing, for solid waste management, this much futuristic study cannot be done because as our manual suggests, population projection study and plan for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years like this, not a span of 30 years. Solid waste management technologies, processing technologies, and all other things are rapidly changing. So, futuristic study up to 2051 is quite unrealistic. That is my suggestion.
And the research data which has been submitted by State Urban Development Agency to National Green Tribunal, that in West Bengal the average generation is around 10,221. 10,020 solid waste being collected. Out of the segregated solid waste, 21% so far is being processed. So we have to increase our processing capacity. He has mentioned this thing will be limited to 8 municipalities. It will be extended to all 100. Suggestion on urban liquid waste management and urban solid waste management, whatever discussion has been taken place here and whatever presentation made by the different presenter and whatever suggestion will come up, we can share these things, and in future we can also request Urban Development and Municipal Affairs Department that there is one of our very prestigious institution, IPHE is here. So if you need our support as an individual or an institution wise, we can extend that support for management of the problem of urban environment, management of problem of solid waste as well as liquid waste and water and sanitation. And with this and with the permission of the audience here, thank you very much for your patience, for hearing all our respected presenter, and you have also given certain suggestion. I hope that we can. Yes, please.
For information to the House, we have already constructed around 70 waste processing facility in our state. And maybe within a year, all those processing facilities will be functioning. So within 2 years, I hope 128 ULB will have processing full sales processing facility in the state.
Very good information, and thank you very much, Mr. Ashraful. And our chairman, Professor Mojumdar, is here also. Sir, if you can kindly indicate the audience the present status of our state of solid waste management is concerned, because Sir has given his experience that what is happening in Vidhannagar. Simply, we are taking everything together and putting it to APA. So, we are hopeful that in future we will be doing that segregation and not as Mr. Asraful Sir has indicated that in all 120, including Vidhannagar, we will be having certain processing plant either at Vidhannagar or at some area of NKDA. Let us see, let us hope for the best, but there is no other alternative we have to do. Thank you.
So actually, for Calcutta, you know that the limited quantum of waste getting processed. 500 metric ton compost plant is at present running. 4,000 metric ton is the generation of solid waste. 100 metric ton material recovery facility has been installed. Bio-CNG plant, of course, small capacity has been installed. Plastic recycling unit, that is also very small capacity, has been installed. But in future, Calcutta will have more window processing of composting. There will be bio-CNG plant, biggest capacity from the city of Kolkata. So Calcutta's round about 2,400 metric ton of organic solid waste will be processed by window method of composting and bio-CNG, basically. And there will be material recovery facility for the rest amount. We have Pramod where multiple number of municipal solid waste are getting processed. Presently, the composting is being done, as well as some material recovery facilities are there. Valedictory also a cluster of municipality processing plant that is also under operation. In Siliguri, the plant is running. Part of the municipal solid waste is getting processed. But in near future, by this month probably, some small municipal town will start processing because State Urban Development Agency has installed or installing the facilities like shade, then platform for the window processing, material recovery facilities will be installed. Solid waste management issue, segregation is a challenge that you have already mentioned. But awareness motivation is lacking. But Swachhata app that has been installed recently, it says that anybody can put any accumulation of garbage or solid waste in the app. Within 2 hours, it will be cleaned. It will be cleared. After 3 months, penalization will be there. So this is a very good approach we to consider because we have seen in other states by the method of penalization, people are coming forward and they are segregating and they are giving waste on time. We have a problem of collection because of the fact in many houses, many people are sleeping late. Those who are working in IT sector, they are getting up at 11 o'clock in the morning and they are not giving solid waste to the collectors. Multi-story buildings, they are not cooperating with the collectors. They are not bringing down the solid waste at the downstairs. They are asking the collectors to go to 6th floor, 5th floor to collect the solid waste. This we are facing problem. But hopefully this will be overcome in near future and the solid waste management system will improve, no doubt. But issue is there this that people's participation in this particular is very much important. I personally feel that ward communities need to be formed and participation through ward committee will be there. There will be competition of the ward committees. Many cities and towns in West Bengal are not having functional ward committee. This is not good for the municipal towns. Hopefully, in future, ward committees will work. And regarding Vidhannagar, treatment plant will be coming. For Vidhannagar, NKDA, Sector 5, all this is big. Sector 6, there will be unit at Pankaj. Engineer Ashraful Islam is looking after that. Vidhannagar is a town, though I am staying here. This town is deprived of having water treatment plant. I am staying here for 48 years. Many people are staying here more than 60 years. We have no water treatment. We are bringing water from outside, from Calcutta Municipal Corporation and New Town. We have sewage treatment plant having a capacity around 50%. 6 million gallon of sewage treatment plant is there. That is not properly functional. We produce 12 million gallon of wastewater in this city. 50% of wastewater is discharging. And solid waste management, no treatment facility. We are dumping waste to Dhaka. So this will be discontinued, hopefully, and hopefully the city's waste will be processed. But finally, one thing I would like to mention for you, that the residential tax, house tax of Salted is much less compared to any other cities and town of Kolkata. And it is really, I don't know, it is maybe 10 or 15% of Kolkata's tax.
Thank you, sir. And on behalf of myself, I would like to convey my sincere gratitude to the Honorable Chairman of the IPHE, Secretary Mr. Torun Datta and Ashraful sir, for giving me this opportunity to sharing the dais with learned speakers, also sharing editorial with people like Dr. Sahib and our respected dignitary side. And thank you very much, Dr. Sahib, once again. Thank you very much.
Thank
So
you.
I will conclude this technical session. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gupta, for nicely conducting this session. Give a big hand for him and also the speakers, along with the speakers all. They have completed the entire time within the scheduled period. Now we have a tea break, small tea break. The question is, the chairman of the next session, that is in the valedictory session, Mr. Valedictory Session is a very aged man. He is not feeling well. So if we start the valedictory just immediately now, or if audience permit, we can start now or after 10 minutes after a tea break. Whatever you like, you suggest. Huh? So we can start the valedictory now. Thereafter it will be complete. Huh? Okay, thank you. Thank you for your also. Hello. Chairman sir, we can start now the valedictory session. Dr. Taposh Gupta, you are requested, please wait with us, join with us. In the valedictory session, all chairmen should be present on the dais. আচ্ছা ভাস্কর এই বইটা থেকে একটুখানি সাপোর্ট দিয়ে তুলে দেন হ্যাঁ করে দিচ্ছি এখন কেটে পড়ার যে উপায় নেই, বুঝতে হবে। একটু বইটাকে ধরে একটু তুলে I request to our beloved Sri Bosishto Sen. Shapon, please তাড়াতাড়ি আসো এদিকে। নিয়ে এসো, ডাস আস্তে আস্তে তুলে নিয়ে এসো। এদিকে আসো, পারবে? ওদিকে চার পার আছে। আরে বাবা, এখান থেকে যাও, এটা ফাঁকা আছে। ঠিক আছে, সোজা করে কথা বললে আপনি So let us start the program. That is after a whole day program. We are coming to the end part of this conference. Today, one of our senior member, rather, Sri B.K. Sengupta, was the former DGO of MTA and ex-Secretary General of IPHE. For long days, he was associated with IPHE. Now I request Professor Mojumdar, Dr. Venkatesan, where are you? Please come. And Dr. Taposh Gupta and Asraful Islam, all of you are requested to come and join in the program. Bhashadi, big and memento আর ব্যাগ দাও বৈষ্ঠদাকে। I request you, Bhashadi, to give a memento flower bouquet to the chief guest of this session, Sri B.K. Sengupta sir. Please. Sir, উঠতে হবে না, বসুন। Give a big hand. Right. So now let us start. Cordless microphone is there.
Am I audible? Professor Mojumdar, all of our dignitaries on the class, and members, students, speakers, etc. of the class. I really session, very practice, areas. Necessarily, at the
Actually, I বলছে না ছেড়ে যেন কেঁদে বাঁচি কারণ কেউই আর ভাবতে চায় না প্রত্যেক এই ধৈর্য শেষ হয়ে যাচ্ছে আমি I will not I'm not going to take much of your time. I will just sum up what has been discussed during the last 2 days. And because that আরেকটা বাংলার ট্রেনে আছে যে ছাই ফেলতে আমার পুরো লাগে এরকম একটা ভ্যালিডেটরি সেশন মানে হচ্ছে যে ritualistic recommendations the house takes never to be implemented. And they have never taken these recommendations have never taken religiously or seriously. I can just tell you, during the last 40 years, on the various issues of sustainability, on water supply, solid waste management and liquid waste management, we have been having various issues for acceptance by the government, and we make a recommendation, send it to the respective quarters, never to be attended. It is never given any importance. It is just a ritualistic matter that Valedictory Session is to be done. Yeah. Now, actually, because of I am saying, again I repeat it that it's a regular session. Just I have just jotted down 6 or 7 points. I will just take 1 or 2 minutes for each of the points, and I will not do anything. We will get your education on stringent quality consideration, rapid urbanization, and aspiration for better quality of life is making water supply a very complex situation. Now, we have been making various recommendations for the last 40 years. I will just take up 3 only. One that we requested the government. We requested in our recommendation to the government that at least allow 50% of the produced water to be sold to ICI consumers, industrial, commercial, and institutional users at some charges, so that we can have some return for maintaining the assets. Never it was allowed. And we then asked for cabinet approval, which it was cabinet approval, that allowed operation and maintenance for first 5 years after completion of the plan as an inbuilt item of the estimate itself, so that at least the plant can operate smoothly after its executive completion. It was never granted, and never there was any cabinet subcommittee to consider these issues. So I say that we make recommendations, and we decide to be never to be implemented. Now, number 1, water in all its competitive use has some value. And water, as you know, as we said, that it is life. That without water we cannot live. So there are 2 parts of it. One is public use of water, and second is private use of water. The water minimum quantity that we require for sustaining life is public water. And any water above that, that is for car washing, street washing, etc., gardening, etc., is public water or private water. So, in a socialistic federal society, the state has a responsibility to provide water. So, I say that after the 40 years, life years, say a treatment plant is likely to stay for 40-45 years. And after its expiry of life, coded life, the state should come forward and provide the treatment plant cost for providing the minimum water for sustaining life. And any private quantity of water that you are requiring to use, you will have to pay for it, and that will have to be charged for. So, water has both use, public use and private use. or budget you will have to pay for it. And even at today's cost, if you can calculate very simple calculation there, that producing 1,000 liters of water at today's cost level will not cost you more than 6 rupees. And after that 6 rupees, 3 rupees will be for just annuity or investment of the treatment plant. About say 3 rupees, 2.5 rupees, about 5.50% for replacement of say tubers and function machineries, and only 0.575 rupees is for the operational maintenance. What I say, the treatment plant will be provided by the state, that is the annuity will be provided by the state, and there is a simple formula for calculating the sinking fund that will provide for the future cost. Say tubewell has a total life of 10 years, 15 years. A pumping machinery has a total life of say 15 years. So you can calculate the futuristic cost and calculate the sinking fund, and you can realize that the cost. So out of the 6 rupees, state will provide for the treatment plant and the consumer. If a proper family has 5 members, and if you consume 100 liters per capita per day, then at the end of the month, you consume about 30,000 liters, and that will cost you at that rate, say 30 to 35 rupees per month per family. During the last 30, 40 years, we have been happy that water in all its competition has some economic value and it should be charged. Only excepting clean area water supply schemes that the government agreed to accept charging some charges per household to be 30 per household per month, and you will be astonished that the rate of charging per voter was 65%. The return was 65%. Only one case after 45 years or 40 years of RP of the government, the only one case, one recommendation, government accepted in part. So, and now, the best thing that has been discussed, that what should be the better water supply. As another professor said, that 24/7 is the best method, as it minimizes the chance of contamination because of positive pressure than intermittent supply. But if you have 24/7, then there is a chance of wastage because it is not charged. You will have, if you have 24/7, you have better water, but you have more wastage. If you go for 24/7, not an intermittent supply, then there is a chance of contamination, but there is less wastage. So it is, if you go for 24/7, you must see that every drop of water that is produced by 24/7 must be charged for, and people will have to pay for it. People will have to pay for it. Now, the today's seminar, the TWO today's seminar, the concerns about circular economy. Now, for water supply, for circular economy, actually, all many of us discussed during the last 40 years, that for water supply management, water resource management, and water quality management. And to follow the 4 golden hours: reuse, recover, recycle, and recover. Now, both liquid waste management and solid waste management provide you that waste will be our segregation. You will be astonished that solid waste, every bit of solid waste, whether it is food, cloth, rags, eggs, production, mud, paper, plastic, etc. Every bit of it can be recycled and reused. And you will be astonished that on the other side of the Ganges and in Howrah, there are 2 or 3 large, I should not say, medium scale factories which just uses this so the plastics every day, which produces chemicals, etc. And for these factories, a good number of about I was correct. The data is about say 30 years or 25 years old, as many as 1,000 old people factories, 1,000 and more ready to be more employment was provided. So the circular economy not only provides recovery of waste, but it provides employment as well. So at the end of the discussion, I have just broken down the hypothesis recommendations. I am just repeating, this is not anything new, but what has been told, I repeat the same thing, something as a summary of what has been discussed in the last 2 days, as I have the possibility of hearing and going. Today, conferences for innovative solutions for clean water supply and smart urban water management to circular economy and discussed various issues of sustainable and sustainable management, economy, concerning public health. Reward technology in the addition to combination of systems have been discussed at length with emphasis on waste to basic issues which have been discussed for the last 50-60 years is about sustainability, depending on water supply management, resource management, quality management, waste recycling, rainwater harvesting, groundwater discharging, and collection and transportation of solid waste, etc. Therefore, the house will consider nothing new, I again repeat, nothing new. Number 1, the 4 golden hours of reduce, reuse, recover, and recycle need to be followed more sincerely and religiously. Number 2, it is advisable to go in for 24/7 supply to have no or less contamination, but with caution to minimize wastage and impose charges for private use of water over and above the use of minimum quantity water for sustaining life. 3. Every component of solid waste has some intrinsic value and face value and can be retrieved to wealth and employment. 4. In this period, recharging of groundwater should not be taken out at least if it pollutes the ground aquifer. Number 4, it is also advisable to take action for popularizing rainwater harvesting or safe water for household purposes. The recycling of water after primary treatment for non-potable use only should be more encouraged and not going for domestic use even after food stress treatment. But there is a tendency, and we have discussed also in other areas, that wastewater can be recycled and utilized for also domestic use. But even after proper treatment, food treatment, because of our work culture and utilization of the various instrument by our so-called government farmers, we should not advise this, that we will use recycled water for domestic purposes. It can be used for non-potable use of gardening, watering of streets, car washing, etc., and whatnot. And irrigation at the source of generation for both domestic solid waste is not being done, and as also to waste collection. I must tell you that it is easier said than done, and there is a good number of slips between the cup and the lid when you used to just introduce all these things. But as you were telling, was telling that you have to be one for biodegradable and one for non-biodegradable. You come to the just wall, he takes both these and just dumps it in his card, into his card, and uses it. And when you are told that why you are doing it, he says it's not your concern, then it's not going to concern that. And as we know, that Calcutta, whatever solid waste, there are 14 number of estimates. 14 number of estimates. As many as that. And it is just, it is not, I should not say, here I say that it depends on not on the actuality, on the number of trips of lorries that take the solid waste to our dumping ground, but it depends on the calculation of, say, various official ministries. There are 14, and of that, the latest is, if I remember correctly, 4,000 tons per day, and of this, only a fraction of it is just composted, and other is simply dumped. That is the treatment method. As Professor Muzunder has said, your city has no treatment, waste treatment plant. Every water, the storm water and the waste, all these together taken over 2 canals in high-water flow and storm water flow canals and goes to the river. Previously, we used to go to Jadavpur, now we used to collect somewhere in Bengal without any treatment. And he says that natural treatment, they should do the natural sanitation, it gets purified, and the purity must just settles down up to the tolerable limit. And we all that after inspection just remember that for the next 50 or 60 years, the same system may continue and we are living happily. So solid waste is a constitution of that. Only simple lining is that compared to Delhi, Mumbai, Bengaluru and others, Calcutta are getting a good quantity, I think, average. If you consider the census population and the total production of water in Calcutta, it comes to about 200 liters per capita per day. So a part of it is wasted, and the distribution is out there. The pressure distribution is the equal all parts of the city, but still there is a silver lining about water supply that the Calcutta's average Calcuttas get more water than its counterparts in Delhi, Bengaluru, Chennai, or other metro cities. So, excepting water supply, the solid waste and liquid waste, we have not been able to proceed further. And I do not know whether in the near future we will have a just, we can just jump over the problem any further. Whatever, I'm sorry, during the last 70 years, so I would say 40 years of my service area concerning with water supply, solid waste, liquid waste, and environmental management. We have tried almost everything for sustainable development, but we have not been able to achieve more than 20 or 25% because of various issues. I will just give you an example. We first tried that we will do this segregation business, biodegradable and non-biodegradable, and we supplied initially some steel buckets to various municipalities and coast areas. We found that after some time they were not there. They have all sold it out. Then we will do it. We just incorporate it. One portion of the bucket, but then they put it and just use for storing rice, etc., etc., etc. Just putting a fish coat, etc., etc., in the water. Also, we trade. In the case of solid waste also, we trade reasonably. It will like your day-to-day segregation and resource of generation or day-to-day collection. We requested the municipal authorities or general public that at least pay, say, 2 rupees per month to the kachra wala. The kachra wala, if they take a sack for taking paper, etc., for selling it out, and non-biodegradables in his card. And if you provide just 2 rupees or 5 rupees per month per household, then they deliver the food that comes to your house every day. We shall and you consider that he gets some money and have his livelihood, and he is also very sincere visit. He comes to your house every day in the morning, whistles and takes a leave happy. But if no house will even agree to pay 2 rupees or 5 rupees per month, even that will also be paid. So when I say that segregation and resource of generation, house-to-house collection, etc., etc., these are all good servants. Good subordinators will stay. But I again repeat that we trade reasonably in all these steps and to achieve only 5 to 10%. So only 5 or 6 recommendations I have put down. If you have any suggestion, if you have any suggestion, then I will add what we will add and send it to the respective quarters. And if there is something, it will give it to the secretary who will either consideration and in discussion of other chairman of the media section will make the recommendation and send it to appropriate quarters or whatever is involved.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Sir. He asked the audience if you have any specific suggestion for today's program, you can write to us or can say today. It is better you think and you write a specific point and write an email to the institution. Before concluding, there is a 3 session chairman there. I would request them to say a few words with the audience. Mainly the students, those who are from the very beginning, they are coming and attending the program. I have seen a lot of members of IPHE, they have already left. But they are waiting for your valuable speech or advice. So, session chairman, Dr. Venkatesan, if you have any message to the audience, especially for the students, and if you have any specific suggestion, of course, so you can.
Good evening, Anand. Thank you for the opportunity. I have an liquid waste management session. Campus are 20 speakers are present. So in environment, air, water, the solid. So we have more about in the solid waste and liquid waste. Now the all are asking climate change. So these are maybe plans for exclusive for air pollution and the like that. Other thing, liquid waste. Nowadays, it's not a liquid; it's a valuable one. Most of compartment implement for state and the central government emphasize the waste water treatment. Particular compound they get approved. Other thing, the very aware interaction is.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Next, Professor Mujumdar, Dr. Taposh Gupta, if you have any, not only suggestion, your message to the audience for today's program. Last.
Respected members of IPHE and my dear students, on one thing I would request you is the session where I had the opportunity to discussion all the respected speakers that solid waste management. Solid waste management is a real challenge. Not only the municipal solid waste, I can tell you, particularly for the students, that besides solid waste management rules, other waste management rules like plastic waste management rules, battery waste management rules, electronic waste management rules. Another new rules has already notified by the ministry that the ferrous and non-ferrous materials. And for all this, extended producer responsibility portal has been launched by the Central Pollution Control Board. In future, this is one of the areas where you can work, and now all the major industries in our country, it is mandatory for them to have this EPR certificate, whatever waste they generate, e-waste and other waste. So besides solid waste management, of course earlier all these electronic waste, plastic waste, all these were a part of the solid waste, but now there is a separate rule. So it is my request or suggestion to all of you, those who are present over here, that kindly look all the notifications, and there is a good opportunity to work on that. And particularly on the solid waste management, already the latest notification kindly goes to that. I have mentioned during the presentation that on 1st of June, Central Pollution Control Board India site, they have come out the new portal. Kindly look into that portal, and all the directions are over there. And you can find a lot of important things for doing the project work. And I have one suggestion: kindly try to get the present data. Whatever work you will do with the present data. Don't rely on the whatever publication. You will, of course, public past reference is very, very important. But lot of things has already happened in our country, particularly West Bengal, also in last 3-4 years. So kindly try to see where from you will get all this data. SUDA is there, Pollution Control Board is there, so M.Tech is there. So please try to get all this data and try to work on that. That is my suggestion, and I hope that in future we will get lot of opportunity on this waste management issue, and there is a scope of good job. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gupta. Now I will request Professor Mujumdar 3 words to share.
Namaskar. Sri V.K. Gupta, you all know
segregation from tomorrow, so that we can achieve our goal and proper processing and disposal of the solid waste can be done. Apart from that, as Professor Udnabu Majumdar sir mentioned, certain recommendation, that is the safe drinking water supply and user charges. So user charges must be there for using any service. As we are getting the water from ULB or KMB or any other authority, we should pay certain charges. And for the polluter, in case of solid waste management, polluter must pay. Whenever we are polluting the city or roads or whatever may be, we must pay for that. So user charges for the solid waste management and liquid waste management shall also be there. It's a wonderful session we have enjoyed last 2 days. So thank you all for attending the session. Thank you once again. Let us conclude the session here. Thank you.
আমরা ইনস্টিটিউশন অফ পাবলিক হেলথ ইঞ্জিনিয়ার্স এর তরফ থেকে 2 দিন ব্যাপী একটা আলোচনা চক্র করলাম। এতে মূলত আমরা ওয়াটার সাপ্লাই, ওয়েস্ট ওয়াটার ম্যানেজমেন্ট এবং সলিড ওয়েস্ট ম্যানেজমেন্ট আলোচনা করলাম। এই কাজটা করতে নেপথ্যে যে সব থেকে বেশি উদ্যোগ নিয়ে কাজ করেছেন তিনি হলেন শ্রী তরুণ কুমার দত্ত, আমাদের সেক্রেটারি IPHE। এই যে কাজ আমরা করেছি তার শতকরা 90 থেকে 95% কাজের দায়িত্ব ও নিয়ে কাজটা সম্পন্ন করেছে। আমি আশরাফুল ইসলাম, আশিস চৌধুরী, বিপান রায়, ভাস্কর, আমরা হয়তো 4-5% হেল্প করতে পেরেছি। এখানে আমাদের যারা স্টাফ আছেন তাদের মধ্যে ভাস্বতী, সুস্মিতা আর স্বপন, তারাও নিরলস পরিশ্রম করে এটাকে সাফল্য করতে পেরেছে। আর সব থেকে বেশি আমরা খুশি, তার কারণ আমাদের কর্পোরেট মেম্বাররা অনেকেই এসেছেন। অনেককে যারা আমরা ইনভাইট করেছি, বিভিন্ন ম্যানুফ্যাকচারার, কনসালটেন্ট, তারা যোগ দিয়েছেন। এখানে যোগ দিয়েছে বিভিন্ন ইউনিভার্সিটির ছাত্রছাত্রীরা, PhD স্কলাররা। আমরা অত্যন্ত খুশি, আমিও ব্যক্তিগতভাবে খুশি, যেহেতু আমি শিক্ষকতা করেছি বা এখনো কিছুটা করি। ছাত্রছাত্রীরা এলে আমরা ভীষণ খুশি হই। আমরা মনে করি যে এখান থেকে তারা কিছুটা এই আমাদের একাডেমিক এরিনাতে যে আমরা পড়াই প্র্যাকটিক্যাল কিছু স্বাদও এখান থেকে পাবে। ফলে তাদের পড়াশোনাটাকে নিশ্চয়ই কিছুটা সাপ্লিমেন্ট করতে পারবে। আমরা এই প্ল্যাটফর্ম আগামী দিনেও ওপেন রাখবো। যদি মনে হয় কোনো রিসার্চ স্কলার বা কেউ কিছু প্রেজেন্টেশন করতে চান, আমরা পেপার মিটিং করি, তাতে আমরা স্কোপ নিশ্চয়ই করবো, তাতে আমাদের ইন্টারাকশনটা ভালো হবে। সবার শেষে আমাদের সেক্রেটারি ট্র্যাডিশনাল প্রথা অনুযায়ী চা এবং সিঙ্গাড়ার বন্দোবস্ত করেছেন। ধন্যবাদ।